Hey, your boy Bam. We Made It podcast back in the building. Solo Dolo YouTube video. Haven't done this in a few weeks. Caesar hasn't done it in a few weeks. He's been supposed to do some UFC stuff. He ended up not doing it. He's streaming though over We Made It C's on Twitch, and the homie Tarek is streaming on Twitch. Mufasa's Taquitos. Make sure you check them out. Make sure you check out We Made It. WeMadeItPodcast.com, at We Made It Podcast on all social media. Twitter and Instagram is where it's cracking. Had to come on here and talk about this PSG, well, this Dijon versus PSG match. Man, you know, there's been a lot of hype, and you know that We Made It Podcast is hype-proof media. And I haven't been believing it. You know, I've been watching PSG for about 5 years now, pretty intensely. And I've seen some of this stuff before, and in the past few years, I've seen a certain player get a lot of hype throughout his time, and it's Fugazi. And I'm going to talk about it today, and I'm going to talk a little bit about this game. Anybody who knows already, PSG lost 2-1 to Dijon, PSG being the top of the table, Dijon being at the bottom of the table in 20th place. The game was played in Dijon. I started watching the game. You know, we talked about Thomas Tuchel last season and how he just loves to tinker and how he doesn't really have any tactics. I think he just tinkers, and if it works out, he looks good. And if it doesn't, like, you know, the blame, you know, they rarely lose like 2 matches in a row. But, you know, if they do, they can blame Neymar. They can do something. But honestly, in my opinion, a lot of the blame is on Thomas Tuchel. They come out in a 3-4-3. I was kind of listening to... Let me get a little water here. Hold on. I was kind of listening to the commentary. Half the time I don't listen to the commentary in these games. Sometimes in Champions League, but I rarely do. He came out, the TV formation lineup showed a 4-3-3, but he definitely was in a 3-4-3. It was Kimpembe, Diallo, and somebody else in the back. Oh, and Dagba. And then in the midfield, starting was Bernat. Like, off top, like, I don't know why the 3-4-3. Like, I have no idea why. Like, literally, like, it's so dumb, but whatever. So the back line. Kimpembe, what's his name? Dagba, and, damn, who did I say? Kimpembe, Dagba. How did I lose this person already? Damn, I just said the person. I wish I could go back and rewind who I said. Anyway, Kimpembe, Dagba, and it wasn't Marquinhos. Diallo. Sorry. Okay, then the midfield was Bernat, Marquinhos, Idrissa Gueye, and Paredes. Okay? Like, already just ridiculous. Then up top, he started Mbappe, Icardi, and Di Maria. All right, so in the first like 5 or so minutes, I put that PSG looks lost in the formation. Tuchel is weird, because anybody watching the beginning of that match, it was just weird. Like, these guys kind of didn't know what to do. The problem with Bernat is a left back, dude. Like, he's super left-footed, and just like everything he does has to go a certain, like, that direction. And I think positionally having him there, it just didn't really work out. Especially with, I think Diallo's left-footed too, but at least Kimpembe is. So, like, it just didn't really work out over there. Having Idrissa Gueye and Paredes, having Idrissa Gueye and Marquinhos in the midfield. Why? Both these guys are CDMs. Like, I mean, even though Marquinhos is a center back, I don't even know like why he's doing this. But what is the point of having these two guys? Like, why, dude? You got so many players. You don't need to tinker and make it weird. Anyway, and then you got Di Maria, who's been on form, and Icardi, who's even though he scored some goals, like I don't even want to say he's on form. Like he literally like doesn't even play, and he just gets a couple goals, and then Mbappe, who is just out of this world. I'm not gonna go through like all the like match notes that I have, because some of the stuff, like when I'm putting a yellow card, I'm usually like putting it so I can refer back to it in case somebody gets a red card, somebody gets subbed out, things like that. So I'm not gonna go through all that stuff. But in the 19th minute, although PSG wasn't looking that great and Dijon was putting a lot of pressure on them early in the whole first half, Mbappe got a beautiful goal. Mbappe in a lot of ways he's unstoppable. Like when you watch him play, like, I don't want to be doing comparisons, so that's usually corny. But he reminds me a lot of Ronaldo. Like I can't front. I think Ronaldo's a little bit more. I mean, obviously I've watched Ronaldo as an older player who's smarter. And I'm not saying Mbappe is not a smart player, but Mbappe wastes a lot of movement because of his youth, I think. But he's just super explosive and he's very fast, and and he knows it, and he knows when to go. He doesn't get caught off sides a lot. There's these things that with somebody with that kind of speed and like and determination and able to and a lot of skill on the ball, it's going to be hard to stop that. So that goal that he got, it was a nice through pass by Di Maria, and I feel like Mbappe had something to do with the build-up as well. I can't exactly remember, but beautiful goal, chipped it over Gomis, the goalie for Dijon, who had a really good game also. Very like strong in the goal today. I put a 32nd minute. I think Dijon had like 3 people go down. I think they had to make 2 subs in the first half, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that first half, PSG is going in 1-0, but Dijon was putting a lot of pressure, and not necessarily that Keylor Navas had to make a lot of saves, but like PSG not really being confused. PSG being confused in that formation, and Dijon, not playing scared and like letting their forward players, like letting their good players be on the ball. They were putting pressure on PSG and getting counterattacks and things like that. But, it didn't, oh, wait a minute. Sorry, actually. I'm looking at these notes and it's confusing me. They did get a goal in the first half. Apologies. Very late into the first half. It was it was like the 6th minute of extra time. I have it here 45 plus 6. It was ridiculous. Dijon got their goal. Guy Shawar or something like that. I'm not sure, but I did put that is deserved. Anyway, when I see the notes, you can't really tell. This is my YouTube game recap notes here. But yeah, I'm sorry. They did get that goal in the first half, so they go in 1-1. And I put that it was deserved. They were putting so much pressure on PSG. That first half, like Icardi, I want to say touched the ball 3 times, maybe 4. I was listening to one of probably the only other soccer show I care about, Le Beau Jeu, the Ligue 1 podcast. And a couple weeks ago, they were talking about a former player. They were talking about comparing Icardi and Cavani, and that guy was saying, "I'll take Cavani with one leg over Icardi," and I guess that guy was also talking about Benedetto being better than Icardi. Both facts, and I don't want to say Icardi's bad because I feel like somebody who's bad loses the ball a lot. That's the thing that makes me look at somebody as they're playing bad or they're a bad player, is if they lose the ball a lot. But Icardi just never gets the ball. Like, he's just not involved ever. And just like every once in a while, like, because Mbappe or Di Maria like brought 2 defenders out to him, Icardi's just kind of alone in the box, and they'll send a cross into him. Anyway, and he's a good finisher, I'll give him that. Anyway, we'll go into the second half, 1-1. And then right out the gate, 47th minute, Cadiz of Dijon scores a goal. How did that goal go? I kind of forgot. I don't know, but he is Venezuelan though, which is dope. He's on loan from Benfica. He's played in Portugal for a few seasons. Young guy, big tall dude, but there was one play where it's like he had some really good skill in the ball. Oh, actually, I remember his goal. It went through Keylor Navas's legs, if I'm not mistaken. There was like 3 PSG defenders there too. I think there was like Paredes was there, Marquinhos, and maybe Kimpembe too. And somebody got that shot off and it went through. Nice goal, and honestly, another one they deserve too. Right after that, I put Icardi, no touches. 64th minute. What did I put here? Oh, yeah. In the 60s minutes is like Icardi had a couple. He had a couple good chances. One header went off the bar. Di Maria had a couple good chances, 1 or 2. But they were just kind of just they're shots you can miss, but yeah, that happens. Like I wouldn't say it was unlucky. It's just like sometimes they don't go in. And then the one header was off the crossbar, and honestly, like the ones that Icardi missed, I felt like were more like they were like better than the one that hit the crossbar. If that sounds, most people feel like if the ball hit the crossbar, it's like almost went in. But Icardi's header was just like a straight shot. He didn't really get it down. It actually was going up. But whatever. What's his name? Kurzawa came on for Bernat at some point. Was it 64 or 69th minute? And then 72nd minute. So 72nd minute, I see Cavani warming up. He's about to come on. Okay, Cavani's coming on. Now, last match when Cavani came on, he came on for Mbappe, and they're playing like a 4-3-3 with Icardi and Cavani, and Cavani was playing on the left. Whatever. Then, okay, I'm like, all right. Like Icardi literally, he's had a couple of shots, but he's like touched the ball. Like, he's been playing for 70-something minutes. He's touched the ball. Like it not being a shot, he's probably touched the ball 3 times, and then and one of them actually was a layout for Di Maria that he skied. And then like with a shot, he's touched the ball like less than 10 times, honestly. But Tuchel brings on Cavani for Paredes. I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing, dude? Like, why? Tuchel's so annoying. Just and me and Caesar have talked about this before on the podcast. Like, yo, like, just do what works. Dude, like, you don't have to be tinkering and try to be the genius. Just put the people in the right position and in the formation that they're used to. Okay, Cavani comes on for Paredes. I put Tuchel stupid. And I'm like, okay, like I'm trying to think on the fly, like, what's the formation? Like, because you still got Di Maria, you got Mbappe, now you got Cavani, and you got Icardi. So, like, eventually I'm like, okay, I guess it's a 4-4-2 with Kurzawa, Diallo, Kimpembe, and I guess Marquinhos. Somebody's at right back. Oh, and Dagba. Okay, so it was Kurzawa. At that point, it's Kurzawa, Diallo, Kimpembe, Dagba. That's the back line. Then the midfielders are Mbappe, Idrissa Gueye, what's his name? Marquinhos and Di Maria, and then 2 up top is Icardi and Cavani. Icardi and Cavani early on when they started playing, they were like so close to each other. They're both like, yo, what's going on here? It was just not even working in the beginning of that 4-4-2. Cavani didn't really have like any shots. He'd actually fed Icardi a couple shot like laid off a couple passes for Icardi. One of them he kind of hit it off his chest and tried to do like a bicycle kick. It didn't work, but it would have been nice if it went in. I would have been like, wow, but whatever. He's a good finisher, but he still like doesn't run or do anything. 81st minute, Draxler came on. They had a few good chances, but nothing too crazy. Draxler came on. Draxler hasn't played in a long time. He's kind of been forgotten. I like Draxler a lot. I think he's played well for PSG. He's had some bad games here and there, but like the way he plays is good for PSG. He's unselfish, and Draxler used to be a forward and like kind of like a wing player, and I think the way he's kind of I don't want to say resigned to the midfield role, but he's kind of down. Like he's like, yeah, I'll play the midfield and try to get assists and stuff, and he's good at that. He's a very skilled player. He got a yellow card at some point, and I can kind of appreciate it because because he's been sitting on the bench for so long and he's been injured and like kind of been forgotten about a little bit, although he's a very talented player. it was nice to see him having that level of passion to where he's like, the ref called a foul on him, and he was like yelling. It was towards the end of the game, saying it wasn't a foul, and he like kicked the ball, and he's like screaming at the ref. But anyway, the game ended 2-1 to Dijon. I put at the end, Tuchel was hoping that PSG's athleticism would be enough, and the athleticism would win the game for them. And that's worked for them. You got Mbappe, you got Di Maria, guys that can run around. Defenders are scared of them in these past few weeks. But I think that's the third loss PSG has so far. Or is it they lost to Rennes? I forgot. I can't remember who they lost to, but I think that's their third loss in not even half the season. They lost 5 games all season last season, and like obviously PSG shouldn't be losing to the last place team, but I mean, I guess on some level it's a credit to Ligue 1. If anybody watched Dijon play, like they played well, they weren't scared, they didn't fold. I've seen teams in La Liga and stuff fold to Barcelona before. Like I feel like I've seen that so many times. A team come out from jump, they're like not even trying to play. But Dijon was playing, they weren't scared, and Mbappe was doing a lot, but like, there was a decent chunk of that game where I was like kind of forgot that he was playing. So I don't know who was locking him down over there, but or if he was getting locked down at all. But for some reason he wasn't getting the ball for a little bit. I feel like did Mbappe release a picture like on Twitter of after he scored the goal? Like even though they lost, I feel like I saw that on Twitter. Like what the hell are you doing? Like his celebration from scoring the goal. Like dog, y'all lost, dog. Like I don't know who's running his account. Maybe it's his little brother. It's like 12. But yeah, PSG loses 2-1 to Dijon. They got Champions League next week, although they're playing Club Brugge. So they should get that dub, but you don't want to see the first place team losing to the last place team. And I don't know what Tuchel does. Like I don't know if he's gonna look at it like he needs to make adjustments. I feel like Cavani should start next week. I feel like they need to just be simple. Put a 4-3-3. Put Mbappe, Cavani, Di Maria if you want. This is what I'm gonna say something else after, but yeah, and play a strong midfield. Put Idrissa Gueye, Verratti, and maybe Paredes or some other midfielder, and quit with the Marquinhos in the midfield thing. Like honestly, Marquinhos is a center back, dude. Like let him just play there. Let him play center back. Kimpembe's not that good. Put Thiago Silva, Marquinhos back there, dude. Just get it cracking. And I guess Thomas Meunier was hurt, so he couldn't play right back. Dagba's not that good. I mean, he's like below regular. He's not like super mistake prone. I think he plays safe, but like he's not that good. I feel like PSG's gonna, they might end up looking for a right back in the winter transfer, but I don't know. Maybe it's like not easy to find a right back. Even Bernat's not that good to me, and Kurzawa just regressed to the depths of nowhere. I felt like he might get better because he cut his hair, but that ain't really happening. But anyway, I want to say this really quick. I said this on the podcast a couple weeks ago. I think Di Maria goals are an illusion. I don't think they're real. I do not think Di Maria goals are real. He scored some goals. I think his assists are good or more real than his goals. I might be eating crow in a little bit, who knows, but I'm going to jump out the window on 2 things. Di Maria goals are not real. Those aren't the ones you want to rely on. And Messi slowing down. But anyway, that's my recap of Dijon versus PSG. PSG lost 2-1. Damn shame. Really excited to see Cavani out there soon. It's my guy. Everybody knows that. Pow. But yeah, make sure you subscribe. We made a podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever else you get your podcast, Google. And make sure you follow Tarek on Twitch. Mufasa's Taquitos, that's the homie. Him and Caesar are affiliate status on Twitch. They're kind of trying to get higher. They play Apex usually. Caesar's at We Made It C's. I'll be in the comment section, chat, going bananas. But yeah, make sure you subscribe and holler at us. Yeah.